On today's show, the opening day bite.
Finally.
Trumped only by the tale of this group.
Cheese.
An opening weekend legacy half a century in the making.
It's been 50 years.
We help you get excited for fishing season with Ron Shera's Ode to the Opener.
Nice one. Yeah.
Plus, one-of-a-kind fillet knives handcrafted right here in Minnesota.
Minnesota Bound, presented by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems.
Hi everybody, Bill, Millie, and I welcome you to a special Minnesota Bound from the Minnesota Landscape Arboretum.
Up first today, we are headed north to meet a group of anglers with real Minnesota bragging rights.
Especially when you understand their opening weekend tradition.
If you ever find yourself trolling for a fishtail, just look for the boatload of hats.
Well, it's kind of fun when people recognize you by your teal-colored pastel hat.
Stupid as it may be, it's kind of our gang, you know?
Just a tradition that can't die off.
Ball caps aside, this trip and this team matter. More so
Yeah, you hit it hard.
than even first fish of the day.
Not Team Northern.
This, I believe, is my 32nd year.
40 for me.
This is my 24th year.
Pretty much the same group for many, many years.
Since we started in '74, so it's been 50 years.
Yep, for half a century. Think about that. 50 years. Mark Mayerich and his closest fishing buddies have shown up to celebrate Minnesota's walleye opener.
You didn't have to handicap parking out there for me.
To stand back and just watch reunion, a moment so profound.
I didn't get to shake your hand, so I will now. Nice to see you.
You know, we have a lot of camaraderie, a lot of generosity within the group.
Team Walleye Weekend starts
It's a leg of lamb, pal.
with dinner
Beautiful, beautiful.
and the swag.
This is our 50 years, so we went and got jackets.
Right leg.
I got those for everybody.
That is nice.
That's really cool.
Team Walleye the year 2023. And then in the back, it says 50th Leech Lake.
Well, you know, it started as a couple of friends, and then friends come and friends, and then we started by bringing my father and some of the dads. Try this.
Soon enough, they had a cabin full of people and eventually a legacy.
Look at Rod there. There's the root of all evils right there. Look, there's the cord. There's the cord in the dishwasher.
And to think, the best memories still come tomorrow.
Yeah, they are.
In the morning,
All set to roll.
Team Walleye loads up to chase the eternal dream.
Ready?
Kind of a big family. It's been a pretty tight-knit group family for a long time.
Until
Nice one, nice one.
the fish bite.
Atta boy.
18 and a half. Nice fish.
One for the box.
See,
We mark it down on our score sheet here.
everyone competes for Team Walleye's annual Big Fish Trophy, and another nobody really wants to earn.
That's more of a gag gift. I mean, nobody really is proud to take it, but I've never got it, so let's knock on wood. But never say never.
But the accolades are not really the point.
Feels pretty good. I'm lining it. There we go. Finally. Finally. More than anything, it's just hanging out with everybody and having a couple beers and talking smart.
That's why original member Mark Mayerich
Yeah?
shed blood for this crew.
I did that last fall.
Yep, he did a thing.
I kind of think it's cool.
Just one more way Team Walleye inks its story.
22, 23.
A Minnesota legacy with so many more chapters to come.
I mean, who knows? We could go 100 years.
Cheese. You know, it's Minnesota tradition.
Say we go a-fishing to land.
Coming up, an ode to the Minnesota fishing opener.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems, Star Bank, White Bear Lake Superstore, and by your boat club.
We are just 1 week away from Minnesota Fishing Opener. My dad, Ron Shera, sat down to pen a little poem on what makes Opener just so special.
Our fishing season is coming, so how could you forget? Start casting with a sunrise and quit when the sun doth set. They say we go a-fishing to land a meal or two, but there's more to fishing than catching. It's the other things you do. It's boats and stuff, whatever you think. It's safety vests for all. Remember your rules of the water. It's common sense you might recall. Your trailer may need attention. The lights always need to light. Remember plenty of grease on the axle hubs. Make sure you grease them right. Boat numbers must be in their place if game wardens pass you by. And skip the booze when you're fishing, or it's you the law will fry. Your minnows must be lively to catch that wily walleye, so keep them happy and swimming, or they'll belly up and die. Remember landing nets and lures and hooks and trolling in the deep. You dream of monster fish below. That's why you're losing sleep. Now fish don't care who's holding the pole or how you spell your name. Fish don't care if you're rich or poor. Your luck depends on your game.
I got one! Yes, he's on there. Reel, Lou, reel! It's coming right for the drift sock. It's a walleye.
For proof, let's look at our leaders, our governors who party and such. They fish for our votes on the opener, but they seldom ever catch much.
Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah! Oh, that's a nice one.
Oh, it's a big one. Nice, it's a nice one.
Yes, fishing might be fishing and catching lights the way, but you don't have to be a pro angler to appreciate opening day. So here's to you and your friends.
We got fish.
It's a walleye.
Oh, look at that fish.
Who love the thrill of the bite.
Oh, it's a big one. Lift it up, Mom. Yeah.
How about that?
Who gather for opening day every year and make the world again seem right.
Nice fish.
That you made prior and now going in.
Still ahead, the story of a fillet knife like no other. But first, Laura's in the kitchen to whip up a special wild game dish.
Closed captioning provided by Voyager Lodge and Houseboats.
Today we're getting wild in the kitchen with Chef Jim Kinberg, Executive Chef of Casetta's, and we're hanging out in Louie's restaurant today.
We are.
And what's on the menu?
We're doing venison today.
Venison today, but the key is that it is officially foraging season for wild mushrooms. And what kind of mushrooms are we using?
Got some morels.
It's Minnesota's gold, isn't it?
Fresh morels, yes ma'am.
And what's the name of the recipe we're doing?
So we're doing a classic Italian dish. It's called a Braciole.
Braciole.
There you go.
All right, let's get started.
Let's do it. If you could be so kind as to grab the venison.
All right.
So basically Braciole is to roll up, okay? We've got to kind of slice this very thin so we have something to roll. And then just to make sure we're nice and even, not that this meat isn't tender, it's already very tender. All right, so now that we have this pounded thin, nice and evenly, we're gonna go ahead with the stuffing.
Okay, sprinkle it in.
Yes, please, just a nice little even layer on top of that.
How does that look?
That looks great. All right, so we are ready to roll.
Ready to roll.
We're just gonna take this edge, leave this kind of naked edge in the back, just like that. We're gonna roll and roll and roll.
Easy enough.
Easy enough. One more step though to roll and we gotta secure it. So let's grab me some toothpicks. It'll take like 3 or 4.
This is the easiest work a sous chef has ever done is pass off a toothpick. Season with a little salt and pepper.
So if you want to take this over, we've got a cast iron or heavy bottom pan that we've been preheating. And we're gonna go top side down first. So that cut side, we're gonna leave that on top. We're gonna sear that last.
Smells good already.
So we've got some good color. We're seared on all sides. We're gonna add our sauce.
The Braciole.
There you go.
Just fun to say, isn't it?
It is.
Wow.
You wanna put the lid on it? Just right over the top.
And what temperature is our oven?
275 degrees.
That's a two-hander right there.
All right, I think we're ready to start sauteing some morel mushrooms.
Let's do it.
There we go. Perfect. All right, if you want to grab those mushrooms, you can add those right to the pan. Perfect.
2 cups? 3 cups? As many as you have?
As many as you have, there you go. Just kind of let those cook for another minute or 2, and this is a perfect time to check the bracioles. There we go.
All right, should we take a peek?
Let's take a peek.
Wow, look at that.
That looks pretty darn good.
This is fancy without really being fancy to make.
You got it. We're going to be serving a little polenta with this.
This is a family style.
You got it.
That stunning.
That sauce over the top. And then the sauteed mushrooms, we're garnishing the plate to bring it all together.
The venison Braciole is finished.
It is done.
I'm ready to dig in, are you?
I am so ready.
Let's do this. This looks so yummy. Got a mushroom. Oh my goodness. Chef, you outdid yourself on this one.
There's a lot of flavor in that.
So good. So good.
That was really good.
Nice job.
Thanks, you too.
Straight ahead, the sound of heavy metal music. Max Smith creates custom fishing knives right here in Minnesota.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Flow Docks and Lifts, Coors Light, and by Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
You know, every angler needs a good fillet knife, but Max Smith believes the good is not good enough for a knife. He believes in perfection.
Anglers covet tools of the fishing trade. Things like boats and rods and reels and even knives. Precise tools we use to prep fish for the pot. Fillet knives, often individual works of art. Max Smith understands that passion for the perfection of a clean, sharp blade. Max makes one-of-a-kind fillet knives, the art of Damascus steel, easily identified by its unique wavy pattern. a proven metal form old as time.
Yeah, so Damascus, it's actually a very misunderstood, I guess you could say, steel. And it's a multi-layer steel of usually 2 different kinds that are forge welded together at a high temperature. That creates the layers that run through the steel.
Beauty this bladesmith mastered. Time to throw on an apron,
alligator,
and get to work.
The most that I've got this garage up to in the summer months is 129 degrees.
That's with the doors open.
Use my hydraulic press to essentially make a homogeneous piece of steel.
Max starts to squish the heated metal plates.
I mean, from start to finish, probably go in and out 15 to 20 times, somewhere in there. There's so much time that goes into these Damascus billets that if I end up making a mistake and I have 45 hours into that billet alone, a tear might be shed.
Pretty soon the billet looks longer than the forge.
From there, I can either keep adding more layers by folding it and repeating the same process, or I do what is called a stock removal. I take a piece of steel and I completely grind out the shape that I want.
I think Max likes what he sees, so up next, the blade gets its curves. He cuts a rough outline and starts to remove the excess steel.
End up really making it all by hand. Every single knife is completely hand ground.
Now, Max makes sure it will always stay strong.
Oil is typically the best way to go. After the quenching and everything's nice and cold to the touch and straight, this is when I'm gonna do the tempering.
He brings the knife up to 300 degrees and holds that for 2 hours.
And I'm gonna let temperature drop back down to room temp and then do it again. So now, every bladesmith's nightmare, the wonderful world of hand sanding. I hate it, and I'd love to know a single knife maker out there that says that's my favorite part. Yeah, you're really taking out every single scratch you made prior and now going in the complete opposite direction. Unfortunately, it takes hours to do. After the knife is completely sanded, which takes a very long amount of time.
Max now cleans up the blade a bit.
So this is just ferric chloride that is watered down.
In the end, a seemingly perfect creation of crazy process, but only worth using with fish in hand.
Oh, got a fish.
We can solve that.
What's our flavor? It's the right flavor.
One.
Max finally takes time off to go fishing.
Nice fish.
Pan fishing fun that looks like this.
Pretty little guy.
The pursuit of a bladesmith. A day that culminates with Max's work in hand. Beauty in the form of a razor-sharp blade, forging functional art.
There's a part of this that has to be a business to keep going and to keep getting better. But at the same time, there's a lot of knives that I'll make, and then it's really hard to let them go because they look so good.
Now those are incredible.
Yeah, so sharp too. Cleaning those fish that day was an absolute breeze.
Well, that about does it for us. We hope you join us next week.
In the meantime, remember to introduce a kid to the great outdoors, and maybe the Arboretum too.
Beautiful.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. To get more Minnesota Bound, including full episodes, go to mnbound.com. And to follow our latest adventures, like us on Facebook.